Hello! Once again, as you probably know, because you are here right now with me, Uncle Scotty. It is Storytime with Uncle Scotty. We have our own mugs. Now, you may be noticing a few things that are a little different. A, we're in a new place. I want to talk to you a little bit more about that in a minute. B, I don't have a jacket. I don't have a white shirt. I do have a new tie because today we do have a new story. Now, I'm in a new place because I've traveled a little bit safely, cleanly. And I didn't bring my jacket, but I did bring my tie, and I did bring my mug, and I did bring my bookmarkers. So I have all the essentials and my spectacles. Now, we're reading a new book today, and I'm very excited about this book. And without further ado, we don't even need a drum roll today. The book is Ways to Make Sunshine by Renée Watson. Ways to Make Sunshine by Renée Watson. Now, we've decided to read this book next for many reasons, so many reasons. First thing is, I love the title, Ways to Make Sunshine. And I think that right now, in a lot of parts of the world, a little bit more sunshine, a little bit more light would be a really beautiful thing. And if this book tells us some ways to make sunshine, I think that'll be a really positive thing. Second, this is by an author named Renée Watson, who, as we can see on the cover, is a Newbury Honor and Coretta Scott King Award-winning author. Now, the Newbury Honor is an award given to great books every year. So, we love these books. Let's give these books the Newbury Honor. Very, very special. My librarian, when I was in elementary school, said, if you go to the library and you find anything with a Newbury Honor mark on it, then it's probably a good book. So that's how I started reading a lot of books that I didn't know what they were about. Second, the Coretta Scott King Award is for books that are by African American authors that illuminate African American experiences and stories. And I have taken note that we have not had those kinds of stories on Storytime so far. And so I think that it is not only overdue, but also quite appropriate in this time that we're in, that we make sure that we listen to stories from all different types of people. Because I think one of the great things about storytelling and Storytime and telling stories is that it allows us to connect with each other in ways that we might not other be able to. You tell me your story, I'll tell you my story, we'll read Renee's story, we'll read Ways to Make Sunshine, and then through that, we can sometimes connect and become a little closer. So if that's okay with you, we're going to read this story next. Oh my gosh, I forgot the other great thing about why we're deciding to read this book. When I was doing some research, I found out that Renée Watson wrote this book about this young woman, inspired by another series of books written by Beverly Cleary. Beverly Cleary wrote a series of books about Ramona Quimby and Beezus Quimby and Henry Huggins and Ribsy the dog. And all of those books take place in Portland, Oregon, a big city in the state of Oregon. I'm actually in Portland, Oregon right now. Not only that, I am very near Klickitat Street, which is the street that Ramona Quimby and Beezus Quimby and Henry Huggins all lived on. Beverly Cleary, that author, is from very close to where I'm at now. Not only that, Renée Watson, the author of this book, is also from Portland, Oregon. And I don't know yet what neighborhood she is from, but I read that this character is like a new version of Ramona Quimby. A cooler version, maybe. I don't know. Shout out to Ramona. She's cool and all, but I'm excited to see about this young woman. So anyway, all of these reasons. A, we're trying to hear more stories, important stories from all kinds of people. B, we are in Portland. This story is taking place in Portland. C, what was the third one? Those are the two most important, I think, to me. Okay, are we ready to do it? Let's go. Ways to Make Sunshine by Renée Watson. Ways to Make Sunshine by Renée Watson. Ways to Make Sunshine. Chapter 1. The Girl Who Could Be King. I am a girl with a name that a lot of boys have. So when the substitute teacher takes roll and calls out, "Ryan?" she looks surprised when I answer. I wish Miss Colby were here. Miss Colby doesn't even need to take roll anymore because it is the first day of March and she's been teaching us for 6 months, so she can tell who is here and who is not just by looking across the room. Miss Colby always starts the day off with our thumbs up thumbs down, somewhere in the middle check-in. We used to have check-ins when I was in school. We did something called the mood meter. You talked about what mood you were in. You could talk about why you're in that mood. So you do a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a middle check-in. The substitute teacher doesn't do any of that. And so I don't get to show my thumbs up for making perfect scrambled eggs and toast this morning. And there we can see young Ryan with her hand up. Sweet shirt. I wonder why Miss Colby didn't leave a note for the sub with a list of do's and don'ts. Like, don't call Devante, call him D. And don't look so shocked when a girl raises her hand when you call out for Ryan. That's what we saw. Here, I say, Ryan Hart? The substitute says. She looks at me like she is not sure I am who I say I am. Yes, my name is Ryan. Oh, she says, pushing up her two big glasses. It's like me, two big glasses. Brandon, the boy sitting next to me, says, she has a boy's name. I roll my eyes at him because no one is talking to him and he needs to mind his own business. I do not have a boy's name. I have my name. My name is Ryan, and Ryan means king, and that means I am a leader. Okay, please settle down, the substitute teacher says, mostly to me and not to Brandon, who thinks he knows it all. Okay, Ryan Hart is here, she says to herself. Then Brandon whispers, and she spells her name wrong. He laughs at his corny joke. I do not. My name is Ryan Hart, and it's not heart like the muscle, it's H-A-R-T, as in my last name. The substitute teacher walks over to my desk and says, I need you to keep your voice down. I need Brandon to leave me alone. I roll my eyes at Brandon again. Extra roll this time. Can't really roll my eyes. But then I remember what Mom always tells me, how she named me Ryan because she wanted me to feel powerful, to remember that I am a leader every time someone calls my name. Dad is always telling me our people come from royalty, that my ancestors lived in Africa, and we were kings and queens and inventors and hard workers. Mom tells me their strength is running through my veins. That's pretty cool. I sit up straight, ignore Brandon, and try to be the leader I am supposed to be. So this is cool. So Ryan's parents named her Ryan because it's a powerful name that means leader. And they tell her that all the people before her, her grandparents and her grandparents' grandparents and her grandparents' grandparents' grandparents and grandparents' grandparents, were all big leaders and kings and queens and inventors and hard workers in Africa. And all of their strength is in Ryan. Mom and Dad tell me I will keep growing into my name. They say it to my brother too. Be who we named you to be, they tell him whenever he is pulling my ponytail or grabbing food off my plate when I'm not looking. My brother's name is Raymond. We call him Ray. His name means protector, and Dad says he should be keeping me, his little sister, safe. I like the name Ray. A lot of cool people named Ray. But mostly, he is just bossy and nosy, and sometimes he treats me like I am a glass thing that could break. He's always telling me, you can't do this, and you shouldn't do that. Maybe because I'm 2 years younger than him, maybe because I'm a girl, maybe because he doesn't know the meaning of my name, how tough I really am. Maybe he doesn't realize I can do and be anything. When it's time to go outside for recess, Brandon, Marcus, and the boy with glasses, who I never talked to, are splashing around in the puddles and stomping in mud. Then they race each other up the monkey bars. I walk over to join in on the climbing, but before I can get there, the substitute teacher says to me, "Why don't you go over there, sweetheart?" and points to the swings and slide. I'd rather stay here, pretending to climb a mountain, so I say, "No, thank you," and keep walking to the monkey bars. The substitute teacher follows me, and that's when I realize that it wasn't a suggestion or a question. It was a demand. "I really think you'll be safer if you stay off the monkey bars. Besides, you and Brandon might need a break from each other." "I'll stay out of Brandon's way," I say. "And I don't think it's dangerous. I play on them all the time. I bet I can even climb faster than those boys." Just then, Brandon shouts out, "You can't beat me!" And he jumps down, showing off. "I bet you a pack of green apple Jolly Ranchers that you can't beat me. Let's race!" I don't know about y'all, but when I was in elementary school, green apple Jolly Ranchers were the most specialist Jolly Ranchers. I usually liked watermelon better, but I remember that everybody else liked green apples, so they were like very prized. Way better than like cherry, you know what I mean? Okay. I bet you a pack of green apple Jolly Ranchers that you can't beat me. Let's race. Race? Yeah. Last one to that pole has to buy the winner candy. He points to the tetherball pole across the playground. We talked about tetherball when we read Sideways Stories from Wayside School. Remember there's a pole with a ball, a tether, kick it around? I think about it. There's a small crowd forming now, and I feel like I have to say yes, like I have to prove to the substitute teacher that I can play whatever I want, with whoever I want. I don't like Jolly Ranchers, I tell Brandon. When I win, you have to buy me a Twix. Boom, boom. I look over at Kiki, one of my best friends. She smiles and gives us our countdown. On your mark, get set, go! I hear our friends all cheering, but mostly I hear the sound of my breath huffing and puffing, in and out, in and out. My feet slap the pavement and I run as fast as I can. Brandon is beating me, but not by much. I move my arms through the air, forcing myself to go faster. I catch up, and then, just like I knew I could, I start running faster than Brandon. By a lot. I'm winning. I'm winning! The pole is close, and if I stretch my arm out far enough, I'll reach it. I run a few steps more, and then, when I go to put my right foot down, something happens. My right foot doesn't touch the pavement the way a running foot usually touches the pavement. Instead, it stumbles and hiccups its way to the cold ground. I've fallen. Blood is trickling out of my knee, and there's a stinging and pounding feeling all through my leg. Instead of stopping the race and seeing if I'm okay, Brandon runs right past me, tags the pole, and says, "Yes, I beat you. Ha, you owe me a pack of Jolly Ranchers." "No fair," Kiki yells. "She was at the pole first. It's not her fault her shoe was untied." I didn't even realize that's what happened. My shoe was untied. I tripped over the shoelace. "Don't be a sore loser," Brandon says. "He's right," I tell Kiki. I never touched the pole. Dad picks us up from school, and the first thing he asks me is, "What happened to your jeans?" He looks at the hole and then back at me. "It's a long story," I tell him. He doesn't press me, but I'm sure Mom will. On the way home, I ask if we can stop at the corner store. When Dad says yes, I ask Ray, "Do you have $2? He answers, "Why?" And this means he has $2. He's just not sure if he wants to give them to me. I hold my hand out. "I'll pay you back." He gives me $2, and when we get to the corner store, I go straight to the candy aisle and buy a pack of green apple Jolly Ranchers for Brandon. And a Twix for me. And we'll find out what happens next with young Ryan next time on Storytime with Uncle Scotty. I have been your host, Uncle Scotty. We have our own mugs. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, doing all those things, joining us for Storytime here from Portland, Oregon, while we are in this special secret Storytime corner. And we'll be back with more stories tomorrow. Okay, bye.